Hello and welcome back for Third Age Total War Divide and Conquer, but not for a introduction to a new campaign, more the prelude to the introduction to the next campaign. For I have run out of ideas of what to do, and version 2.3 is not yet released, yet we have finished the Linden campaign. Well, I finished it because I was getting bored of it, honestly. But now we need to think of what to do next, and I was thinking, since we're still waiting for 2.3 and we have absolutely no idea when it's going to come out, I thought let's just do a quick campaign with a faction I don't specifically like much, but a faction that has been given some changes I can talk about because they are quite extensive. Well, firstly, there's Mordor. Mordor's probably the one faction that's never going to change, always going to be one of the easiest factions to start with. Easy faction to fight against Gondor with all your Olyri generals. It used to be before all the Nazgul were changed into footmen, except for the Witch King, who's still a Black Númenórean horseman general. I used to actually did a campaign where I had all 9 Nazgul generals, not all 6 Nazgul generals, because 3 of them are all the way up in Mirkwood. With 6 of the generals, I just completely wiped out Gondor. I'm not even joking. About turn 60. No, turn 78, if I remember, was my record for defeating Gondor. And then 30 turns later, I defeated Dol Amroth. So yeah, Mordor's been given a few made a little bit weaker, but stronger at the same time. Their base units are slightly more potent and last a little bit longer than they used to. But their main generals, the Olyri, have now been reduced to 2 bowmen, 3 swordsmen, and 1 cavalry. And that would be the Witch King of Angmar. So why we want to play Mordor? Well, just to get it out of the way. As fun as it is to try and get the ring and then give it to Sauron, Mordor's just a boring faction to play as. They start with a massive selection of regions, all of which, while not playing the Total War submod, all their allies are protecting their backs. All you got to do is fight Gondor. So why do a quick campaign of that while we're waiting for 2.3 and Gundabad to be released. Then there's also Mirkwood, a rather niche faction I think. It's basically just a rip-off of Gondor but made into a slightly harder start with only having Dol Guldur and only 3 Nazgul generals. But to be honest, along with the other general they get, they do actually have a reasonably strong starting force. And if you can ally with Misty Mountains and fight off against Anduin first, avoiding the elves, you do stand a good chance of world domination. But to be honest, as fun as Mirkwood can be, I would like to try and get them out of the way because it's not like they're going to get any changes soon, is it though? They're already extremely unique. They got some new units in 2.2 or 2.1, and that's really it. The Ar-Adunaim, I'm thinking of just playing them just again because they are very unique. No 2 campaigns with the Ar-Adunaim are ever going to be the same, unless you go for the same starting region. But yeah, the fun thing about them is they start as a horde nation, so you can take literally anywhere, and that would be your first region, that would be your capital. So what we could do is say, screw it, we're going to go all the way to Minas Tirith, screw it, we're going to go all the way up to Fornos, to Barad-dûr, wherever we want to go, and start with a full stack that could take any region. Obviously, they say incentivize you to take Umbar because that's your main province, but it doesn't tell you have to. It says you might want to. So, if anyone wants to see an Ar-Adunaim campaign and actually wants to say which region we should start in and see if that will work, that'd be fun. I was thinking, let's play Canned, but then I was thinking they got a lot of good changes in 2.1, and I want to show them all. I want to showcase them all off if possible. Yes, it would be fun just to show off one form of the Canned script, but I would prefer to have either make it so I can have 2 separate campaigns for Canned at once, starting off until we get to the script, and then we divert in both paths, and then we do one part for this one part for the other one, and we kind of have some fun with that. If you guys think that would be fun, do tell me, because I think that would be really cool. Then there's Harad. I don't like Harad. I hate Harad. They are they're the worst faction. I hate them the most. They're just boring, really, to me. They just seem so boring. They just have a completely over-aggressive faction. They have Oliphants, which makes them extremely overpowered in the late game. They can just completely harass the entire world and take it, and nothing can really stop them. They've got Trollmen, Hashari, massive aggressive units. And aggressive units in this game most likely win you the game unless you know how to play defensively, and it's a lot harder than playing aggressively. Then there's the Orcs and Misty Mountains, similar to Mirkwood. They got no real changes, but this will be the last time to play as the Orcs and the Misty Mountains before they get split into Gundabad and the Orcs of the Khazad-dûm, or the Orcs of the Greyland Pass, the Redhorn Pass. I don't know what they're going to call them, but I feel like it's called this Orcs and Misty Mountains still. But yeah, this is the last time to play them when they're at their greatest strength, in my honest opinion. Although in the future they do tend to be focused on going to the left rather than going to both ends, because Gundabad will be taking out the right, and while Orcs and Misty Mountains, Dagtal are going to get cut off here, so they're no longer neighbouring Anduin, technically. Then I was thinking, let's play Isengard, but then I was thinking, but Saruman has very good fun uniqueness, and I want to show that off fully in the future. So I'm thinking, let's hold off on Isengard and Khand and maybe the Ar-Adunaim for now, and you do them as different as factions in the future, because they can last for a long time and they are really fun in the late game. And then I thought, Rune, who cares about Rune? Let's just play him now and get him done with. But then I was thinking about all the others, and would Rune be a fun faction for people to watch? They're not really that unique. All the eyes is a bunch of gold bastards who don't care. And that's my current opinion on them. They just completely dominate wherever they start. If they were to start even over here, next to Linden, they would still beat the hell out of Linden because they're just too strong. Rune is just a naturally strong race nation because they have the improved smithy, powerful elites, and easy early game as well. So that is the options. Well, basically, because I'm going to set up a poll, and you guys can once again decide which faction to play next. You decided for Linden. I thought, well, it was a fun campaign. It got through a good few months. Let's leave it into your hands again to see which faction we should play while we wait for 2.3 to be released. So again, that list is Mordor, Mirkwood, the Ar-Adunaim, Harad, Orcs and Misty Mountains, and the Easterlings of Rune. So all evil nations. We won't be playing as another goody-goody again because they take too long to get ready. And I want to have a good, strong, good faction campaign in the future. So if you all enjoyed this little talk on what we should do next, obviously I will also still be bringing out another Edain video later on in the weekend. This is just a little thing telling you, yeah, I've got a plan for what to do with 3rd Age Total War Divide and Conquer. I just don't know what faction to play next, because to be honest, I think if I play as one of them, you guys may hate it when I just immediately start saying, okay, we're now getting rid of it, we're scrapping this faction, 2.3's out, we're focusing on that, let's get some fun in with that. So which faction do you think we should really dump into a quick campaign is what this should be? If you don't want to see a quick campaign, you want to see a slower, more diluted campaign that has a lot more into it, we will have to wait for 2.3, because again, I am not starting a massive campaign until 2.3 is released. So until next time, ta-ta for now.